Undoubtedly, Honda stands as one of the greatest engine builders in history. Right from the early days of automotive and motorcycle production, they boldly invested significant funds into racing, setting their sights on Formula 1. Their daring move involved staking everything on a single cart, a bespoke in-house chassis coupled with their own design of the V12 engine. And this wasn't during the flashy era of the 80s. It dates back to the 1960s, when Honda made its foray into F1. It's truly remarkable to fathom that as a new automaker, Honda managed to launch its first production car in 1 year, and then emerge as one of the top-class motorsport teams in the world the next. The Honda T360 rolled out in August 1963, and just a year later, the Japanese brand boldly entered the competitive world of F1 with their own racing machine. This unprecedented move demanded not only a team of highly skilled individuals, but also substantial financial backing to fuel the ambitious project. Only a few, like Ferrari and BRM, had the capability to undertake such a feat, and in 1963, Honda showcased the RA271 monopost, foreshadowing their entry into the 1964 F1 season. While it was in the interest of Mr. Honda, the driving force behind Honda's venture into Formula 1 was Yoshio Nakamura, an esteemed Honda engineer since 1958, affectionately known as Engineer Nakamura. His crucial role came to the fore when Honda sought the perfect chassis to complement their magnificent engine. Despite exploring various options in Europe, such as the promising Lotus, the engine remained paired with a Japanese chassis, leading to the decision to develop the F1 project entirely in-house. Nakamura-san held the pivotal role of development project manager for the Honda RA270 F1 prototype, a remarkable creation engineered around Honda's groundbreaking 16-grid 12-cylinder engine. Drawing on their expertise from motorcycle GP racing, Honda took a bold approach by opting for a slightly heavier, yet entirely lighter V12 that could effortlessly achieve high RPMs, generating more power compared to the prevailing V8 engines used by most competitors. Leveraging their experience in the 125cc and 250cc GP racing, Honda's proficiency with compact pistons and tiny cylinders as small as a dime proved instrumental in the endeavors. The engine boasted a 4-valve setup, an unconventional choice at the time, which earned it the reputation of being the strongest engine of F1's 1.5-liter era. Although they faced unexpected challenges during 1964, Honda persevered, and already that year Honda made an impact, receiving an unofficial title, the strongest engine of F1's 1.5-liter era. The RA271 chassis was still like an uncut diamond, but with little tweaks and modifications, the 1965 RA272 achieved a significant milestone, a race victory in Mexico with American driver Paul Richard Richie Ginther. Nakamura sent a triumphant message to Tokyo with the words "Veni Vidi Vici," a declaration of the triumphant journey. Being here on VisioRacer channel, here are some of the most interesting, geeky engine details. Tadashi Kume, the mastermind behind the power plant, drew inspiration from motorcycle racing, leading to the engine's unique transverse orientation with gear-driven valve train and power output positioned in the middle of the engine. There was a wide valve-angle hemispherical combustion chamber design and a presence of 12 Keihin carburetors, which were later complemented by a low-pressure mechanical injection system driven off a rear-mounted exhaust camshaft. The engine was capable of 14,000 RPM, which was truly unusual and demonstrated the engine's meticulous engineering. Notably, the conrods and crankshaft were fitted with ball bearings, following the motorcycle tradition of using single-piece rods and a multi-piece crankshaft. The rear-facing exhaust pipes earned a vivid description from engineer Brian Hart as an octopus being sucked out of the engine. The V12 engine took cues from the CR72 twin-cylinder 250cc engine, which produced 40 horsepower at 12,000 rpm. In Formula 1, the V12 engine would normally rev up to about 11,500 rpm, generating 230 horsepower, while a prototype hinted as much as 270 horsepower. In the 1960s, Honda's GP bikes were pushing over 20,000 rpm, while the 125cc racer featured as much as 5 cylinders turning inside the engine. These shared technologies suggest that the V12 was essentially a motorcycle engine adapted for four-wheeled racing. Clearly, Honda was actively experimenting with the engine, leading to modifications that widened the V12's power band. This engineering feat involved configuring the engine as 3 4-cylinders within the same block, each running on different length intake stacks, cam lobes, and ignition timing. The pursuit of optimal performance and power band characteristics was a testament to Honda's dedication to pushing the boundaries of engineering excellence. Unfortunately for Honda, their success in the 1,500cc era came to an end when the regulations changed in 1966, allowing for up to 3 liters of displacement. This shift necessitated the development of a completely new engine, a task that fell to Soichiro Irimajiri, who would later be responsible for the iconic Honda CBX engine. The new 3-liter engine had several significant differences. It featured a wider 90-degree bang angle and a longitudinal layout. The design underwent various major changes, including an opposite airflow running a hot V. The power output increased to an impressive 380 horsepower at 10,000 rpm. The Valtrin retained its middle place position, but the team faced challenges with competitiveness due to the heavy chassis of the RA273. The following year's RA300 showed improvements as it adopted the lighter Lola L90 IndyCar chassis. The engine also underwent a weight reduction and received a power boost, reaching 420 horsepower at 11,500 rpm. This car, affectionately nicknamed the HONDA, secured a single victory thanks to the skilled driving of John Surtees at the 1967 Italian Grand Prix. Driven by Soichiro's desire to create the lightest car possible, the development of an air-cooled F1 demanded significant resources. In 1968, Honda introduced the RA301, slightly updated and equipped with the heads reverted back to the conventional position. Alongside it, a brand new air-cooled fanless V8-powered RA302 chassis made its debut. The V8 engine, despite no longer being a 12-cylinder, boasted an impressive power output of 430 horsepower at 9,500 rpm and weighed less than 500 kilograms, making it a promising contender. Tragedy struck during the 1968 French Grand Prix when the RA302 crashed, resulting in the loss of Joe Schlesser's life. Another RA302 was constructed for John Surtees, but he deemed it a death trap due to its lightweight yet highly flammable magnesium chassis, which burns at an alarming temperature. Surtees refused to race the car unless an aluminum chassis was used instead, but unfortunately, the team never implemented the change. Consequently, the team finished the season with the RA301 that failed to achieve any notable success. In the wake of the tragic events and their lack of success, Honda made the difficult decision to withdraw from Formula 1 for several years. The air-cooled monopost, though harboring tremendous potential, gained notoriety as one of the deadliest race cars in the sport's history. Despite the setbacks and disappointments, the 1960s Honda 12-cylinder program served as a valuable lesson for the company. Soon after, Honda showcased their true capabilities, leaving a lasting impact on the automotive world. The company's resilience and determination would lead to groundbreaking innovations and successes that the world would come to know and admire.